and welcome back to Age of Empires 3 Histories. Today we are moving on to the French. That's right. Another glorious loss for France. Except they're pretty good in this period. People just shit on them because they tend to lose big. Okay, France began the Age of Exploration as one of the more powerful nations in Europe economically, militarily, and geographically. Initially, they trailed the Spanish and Portuguese in the quest for overseas trade and empire, but made significant progress in the 17th and 18th century. They were exploring and attempting to settle North America before the British, attracted by fishing off Newfoundland, fur trading, and their search for a northwest passage around the Americas to the Pacific Ocean and Asia. A 16th century settlement in Florida was wiped out by the Spanish. Several attempts to settle in Nova Scotia along the St. Lawrence River finally resulted in a permanent settlement in Quebec. From these intrepid explorers, including Champlain, Marquette, and many others, worked their way through the Great Lakes and down the Mississippi to its mouth. They established better relations with the Native Americans than any other European nation, mainly because they encouraged fur trading and were less interested in permanent settlement. French trappers and traders came to America in relatively small numbers to make a fortune in furs and then returned home. They eventually built a string of trading posts and forts along the interior trade road at New Orleans, St. Louis, Mackinac Island, Detroit, and Fort Duquesne, modern Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's not how you said it. Duquesne. Who knows? Moving on. French involvement in Europe, India, and the Caribbean meant that colonizing efforts in Canada were not strongly or systematically supported. The efforts of the smaller French population to keep the rapidly growing British bottled up along the Atlantic seaboard could not be sustained. When war came in the 18th century, Canada was lost in battle and traded at the negotiation table for some spice islands in Indonesia. The French retained their control of the Mississippi and Missouri River watersheds until the early 19th century, when Napoleon sold France's vast holdings to the fledgling United States to support his wars in Europe. Alright, that's it, and I'll be back next time with the Germans. See you then.